So the first card you have for your past is the Three of Swords, yes. Yeah, so I am seeing some big clashes actually. I'm not seeing heartbreak. I am seeing heartache. But this heartache is around these kind of clashes. I'm seeing some clashes happening between you and two other people. I'm seeing one of them could be your partner, or it might be someone you're involved with romantically if they're not exactly your partner yet. Excuse me, but it probably is your partner. And I'm seeing that there's someone else who's very close to your partner, who is very, very close to them actually. They might be a very close friend, or they might be a relative. So there was a lot of tension between you and this relative, or this whoever this is who's close to your partner. I hope this is going to make sense. I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible to you. I'm seeing that this relative, or whoever this is that close to your partner, I'm seeing that they started off as being quite fine with you. You started off talking, you might have been laughing, joking, all of that kind of thing. Everything seemed fine. But then there was some kind of tension that happened between you. There was kind of a division between you. And I don't think you know why this actually happened to begin with. They might have just started being a little bit off with you or something. And then it grew to be worse and worse, and they're actually quite horrible towards you in the end. I'm feeling a lot of stress around this because you didn't want to come between these two people. But, you know, there were times when you felt really unwelcome around this person. I'm getting a really uneasy feeling around this, a really terrible feeling. You could have even felt a little bit disrespected by this person. So if this resonates, yeah, I'm seeing there's probably always going to be some kind of a bond between your partner and this other person. It's a bit strange because I'm also feeling some tension between those two as well, but they're always going to have some kind of a bond. I keep on seeing that. And this other person, this person who's friends with them, or this relative with your partner, they see you as some kind of an interloper, or someone who's getting in the way or something like that. It's really silly, it's really rude of them and horrible. Yeah, I don't know what you're going to be able to do about this, but yeah, there's a lot of tension around this. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your past is the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, you might have tried to talk to your partner about this. I think you have tried a few times to talk to them about how you felt around this person, how this person made you feel, how, you know, they made you feel disrespected. And I think you might have told them this more than once. I'm seeing you kind of talking to them a few times, or trying to talk to them. But I think they might have gotten a little bit defensive about this. I think you tried to talk to them, and I think you really wanted them to say something like, oh, I'm terrible about that. I feel terrible about that. I'm really sorry. Let me go and tell them not to be like that toward you again. Or let me defend you against them. Or even just, oh, I'm really sorry. What can I do for you to make you feel better? But no, it wasn't like that. They got very defensive, and they just didn't give you the answer that you were hoping to get. And again, I'm seeing this bond between them, and again, I'm seeing that they'll probably do almost anything to protect this bond. If you look at the man on this card, he's protecting himself. He's protecting himself with one of these coins. And also, he's afraid to move. He's afraid to upset things and potentially lose all these coins. So this person's afraid to kind of say anything in your defense because they don't want to upset this person. They don't want to lose this bond they have with them. And I'm seeing that, yeah, they wanted to protect this bond they had. So if this resonates with you, and you do end up staying with this person, with your partner, they'll probably always have this bond with them. I'm not seeing them going away from them. I'm not seeing them ending this bond, sorry to say. I know you probably never want to see this other person again, but that's not what I'm seeing. I am seeing they have a very strong bond. So the last card you have for your past is the Six of Pentacles. So yes, again, inequality. Your partner just was not seeing or admitting to how you were being treated. It was like they were very defensive about it. They might have been saying, oh, it's not so bad. what's wrong with you? Can't you get along? Blaming you even. So you might have been even rethinking this whole situation with them because you're feeling really, really unsupported by your partner. And obviously, feeling unsupported is a really bad feeling. I felt like that before as well with someone. So I don't mean to be negative, I really don't want to be negative, but if they won't support you on this, what else won't they support you on? I mean, if you're going to have a partner and you're going to be with them and they're going to be your life partner, if that's what you're hoping, and you have, a long future with them ahead of you, you're going to go through some really bad trials together. And if they're not going to stand by your side in something like this, what else are you going to have to go through alone? You may as well be alone. That's what I'm seeing. So, I'm not saying you have to split up with them. I'm not saying any of that. But have a think about this. I mean, and also I'm not saying that they should totally abandon the person they're close to either, but standing up for you or supporting you in some way anyway would have made a huge difference to you. Even if they'd come and they were kind of not so defensive, and even if they'd said, well, I'm really sorry you're feeling like that, is there anything I can do? Or even just sorry or anything. But they weren't doing any of that, and so you felt really alone and really unsupported. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have, your present, is the Emperor. So yes, I'm seeing self-reliance in this card. Obviously, the Emperor is so self-reliant. He stands on his own 2 feet. He's smart. He moves forward. He's strong. And I think this is about your determination to be self-reliant. So you're not completely distancing yourself from your partner. You're not leaving them or anything dramatic like that, but you're taking steps to be more independent. You're taking some small steps. I'm just seeing you going out on your own a lot more. You're making decisions on your own a lot more. You're just doing a lot more on your own. Excuse me. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be around this relative, obviously, but yeah, I'm just seeing that you're just getting these thoughts of I'm not being supported. I'm really getting this really clearly. I'm not being supported. I don't feel supported. I feel alone. I'm not being supported by you. I'm going to start to support myself. And that's what you're doing. You're going to support yourself. So this is really about putting your emotions aside and using your head, using your mind, using your determination. It's like a shift in your thinking. It's like a mental shift. And I think, it's not that you're going to kind of move away from them. It's not that you're going to kind of split up from them. But it's kind of a little bit like insurance, if that makes sense. It's like, if I don't rely so much on this person, if I rely more on myself, if anything happens, it's not as drastic as if I was totally relying on them. I hope that makes sense. The next card you have for your present is the Nine of Pentacles. So yes, this is you wanting peace. You just want to be on your own for a while. And again, you're wanting to be more self-reliant because if you look at the beautiful woman in this card, she has everything she needs by herself. She's by herself. She has fruit. She has pets to amuse her. She has trees. She has everything she wants. And you're kind of trying to be more reliant on yourself. This is a shift away from your partner, definitely, but it's subtle. It's not that you want to leave them, I keep on seeing that, but there's a kind of a just in case feeling around this. You've been hurt and you've been undermined and you feel like things are very unfair and you feel very unsupported, and this has happened in your past. And you're feeling a little bit like this now with your partner. So this is about you protecting yourself, just being by yourself, protecting yourself, getting everything ready, just in case. So the last card you have, your present, is Death. So yeah, this might feel like a very small shift, a very subtle shift. It might seem like nothing very much, but this is a big shift. This is a transformation. You're not angry, you're not resentful. You're just quietly taking action to make yourself as independent and self-reliant as you can. So I hope I'm making sense with this, but it's like Your decisions aren't coming from negativity. They're not coming from, I'm so angry and upset, I'm going to leave this person. No, they're coming from positivity. It's like, what do I want? I want more freedom of choice. I want to rely on myself a lot more. I don't want to feel when something goes wrong with this person, when they let me down, I'm so let down that I kind of fall down to the floor. No, I want to be so self-reliant that if this person lets me down, or if someone else lets me down, it's not great, but it's not a disaster. That's the kind of shift I'm seeing here happening in this death card. So the first card you have for your future is the Sun. So yeah, the Sun's a very, very positive card, a super positive card. But sometimes it sheds light on things. It illuminates things. It brings things to light. I'm looking at the child in this card, and this is a very cute, chubby child. This is a chubby child, and I'm getting this feeling that whoever this relative is, they might be a parent, or they might be an older aunt, or they might be a grandparent. This is someone who thinks that they have a parent role. So I think this person doesn't want to share them with anyone else. It's as if they see them almost as a child, not fully grown. And I think you're going to realize, this is going to come to light, that it isn't you that they don't like. They wouldn't like anyone getting close to this person because they just want this person all to themselves. It could be Mother Teresa that they're seeing, but they still wouldn't approve of them. They wouldn't be good enough for them. So that's what I'm seeing. So if this resonates, it might be comfort to you to know that it isn't you personally that this person doesn't like. It's just anyone that gets in the way of them kind of babying this person or wanting to have them all to themselves. So yeah, they are trying to come between you. They still are. But I think they do the same with anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. The next card you have for your future is the Hierophant. So yeah, I'm seeing that in time you will come back, you will come closer together with this person. You're not going to have this separation. You're still going to be very strong. You're still going to be very independent. You're not going to lose that, which is really good, really important. But you are going to come back closer to this person, despite this relative or whoever this is. They're still going to be around. So yeah, I'm seeing this person's going to try and dominate things, this relative. I think they're always going to try to do that. But yeah, I think, at the moment there is a distance between you and this partner, but not a physical distance, but like an emotional distance. But you are going to come back closer again, because I just saw these two poles and I'm just hearing the words poles apart. So you might feel as if you're poles apart, but you are going to come close together again. You are going to join together again, a bit like these two golden keys at the feet of the Hierophant. So yeah, this relative is still going to be trying to kind of be an authority over you. They're going to try and expect you to follow their rules or whatever. If you look at this Hierophant, he's directing these two monks, and the two monks look a bit like twins. They look a bit like Gemini. So this person's going to be trying to tell you what to do, but I think you're going to be I think you're going to manage this person quite well, actually. I think you're going to be very clever about managing this person. I'm seeing you sometimes being around them when you have to. Sometimes you're not going to be around them at all. Sometimes your partner's just going to be seeing them by themselves. But I think you're going to think of some very clever ways to be able to manage this person. And I think having this light, having this sun come in, this illumination on what's actually happening has really helped you, or is going to help you to kind of understand them a bit more. So the last card you have for your future is the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, you're going to come together, I'm seeing. You're going to be working as a team with your partner. Again, I'm still seeing this person is not going to change. They're going to think they're in charge. They're going to think they're a boss or whatever. Sometimes the Three of Pentacles can be about someone who thinks they're superior to other people, in charge of them. But I'm still getting this Yeah, I'm still getting this feeling that you're going to be managing this person or handling them quite well, actually. You're going to be very clever about this. So they're still going to be around, they're still going to be causing problems, but I think you're going to be able to handle this quite well in the end. And I know this was all one thing going through all the way through this. This was what I was seeing in this reading, so it will probably only resonate with a few people. But, I just went with what I was seeing.